Hello, I'm Emily Villario, pharmacist, witch, and holistic health coach, and this is Witchy and Well's Soul Medicine, where we interview folks who have found a way to be their own medicine and then are willing to share that with other people. Today, it is my great pleasure to be joined by Tricia Murray, sound healer. Welcome, Tricia.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here. Since we're talking about sound healing, I think it would be really lovely for us to start with an Om.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay, for folks who haven't done an Om before, it's pretty simple, right? We're gonna,
Yeah, it's almost like a hum, but with an open mouth.
Yeah.
With a breath in, and then to do the Om on the exhale.
Exactly. You can pick whichever note you want.
Exactly.
Awesome.
All right, let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
Inhale.
You have this great wind capacity too as a yoga instructor. I've been in awe of your wind capacity.
Thank you. And interesting, we tuned to the same notes.
Mm-hmm.
We're on the same
that felt right.
here.
That felt right. Yeah. Awesome. So I like to start these episodes by asking folks what I like to call about witchy little risks. So witchy little risks I see as little positive risks we take with the intention to grow, to challenge ourselves in some way. Do you feel like you have taken any of these little risks recently?
I do. I feel like I've been taking them every day.
I feel that.
It's been a wild ride. I was recently laid off from a corporate job for the third time in the past couple of years, and decided to take the hint from the universe that maybe the corporate route isn't for me. Mm-hmm. And so ever since then, that happened in early February, and I've been taking risks every day and putting myself out there as a yoga teacher, as a sound healer, as a movement coach, and taking advantage of all those little opportunities. So for example, I am working on a new business venture that would be within the yoga and sound healing space that we'll be launching soon. Stay tuned. And that's been really risky to identify as an entrepreneur and new business owner and everything that goes along with that, including imposter syndrome and fear and all those inner critic voices that we can hear. But it feels exciting at the same time, and remembering that both of those emotions can exist at the same time. We can hold being excited and being fearful at the same time.
Absolutely. When you have those moments of fear, what do you find is helpful for you? I think a lot of, I will include myself in this. Absolutely. You feel that. I feel that.
Yeah.
What helps you?
Yeah. I would say the first thing is breath work, but it's usually what I'm most reluctant to do. I know that's like the quick fix for me, but sometimes I'll try to weasel my way around that. Movement is also my number one go-to, whether it's just a walk or just shifting my physical location. Obviously, I'm a yoga teacher, so I love yoga. I'll find peace and that calm and that stillness in my yoga practice. And I would say, and finding stillness helps with the fear and just identifying, why? Digging a little deeper. I'm just like, okay, I'm feeling that in my body. That's a somatic experience. And then getting a little bit underneath the surface. Where is that coming from? And maybe it's something that's a fear that's being held that's not even mine. It's just been there and been held by my body. So I would say breath work and movement are at the very top of the list.
Yeah.
I've tried other things that also don't work, so it's an evolution.
We find our own medicine, right? Things work for some folks and not for others, which, I mean, how great that there are so many things to choose from. Yeah. So what was it, maybe before I ask what was it that drew you to sound healing, tell me a little bit about what your medicine is, what sound healing is. And I think sounds really cool that we're going to be integrating yoga and sound healing together. So feel free to, talk about them as a kind of duo if that feels right.
Yeah. So I launched on a spiritual journey back in, I would say, about 2013, 2014. And really the catalyst of that was a divorce. And I was faced with being an independent person, no longer attached to someone, or my identity had shifted in some way. So I was able to explore these things that always piqued my interest. So even from a young age, I was very empathic, very intuitive. I was very interested in art and crystals and rocks. Funny enough, my mom found a crystal and rock collection that I had built when I was younger, pulled it out for my nephews. She
still has that. Yes. That's amazing.
Pulled it out for my nephews. I had all my crystals and rocks all labeled and categorized and displayed on this beautiful felt. And so I had always felt connected in that way, but it had always been weird to me, which is definitely a triggering word, or as I got older, woo-woo. And so that spirituality felt a little bit out of touch in like that mid part of my life. But after my divorce, I really felt called to it, to learn more about astrology and Reiki, became a Reiki master, underwent a program called the Goddess Program, which was a 9-month program with a group of amazing other women, where we did both emotional healing, but we also did some physical challenges like walking on glass and fire walking, for example.
Girl, what? That's amazing.
Yes. And that was really just transformative for my growth. So I've been on risks. Yes. Yeah. I've been on a seeking journey ever since, and my learning has not stopped. And I've always tried to follow my curiosity wherever that leads. And the curiosity led me to yoga initially, and my first yoga teacher training, which was back in 2015, and continued on that journey. And that has led me to experiencing sound healings, which I was like, this is magic, pure magic, to be able to absorb sound vibrations. And for each of the sound healings that I've gone to, they're so unique and different, and that it really is the people performing the healing. Well, not performing, might be not the right word, but
sharing or
facilitating. Sharing. I like that. To be able to share different types of music, or even their own voice, if that's incorporated with the sound healing. And so I would say sound healing is really a musical vibration, can be of instruments. Traditionally, you'll see the pictures of sound healing with crystal singing bowls, which are amazing and beautiful, have such a gorgeous frequency. And there could be all kinds of other instruments involved. Maybe there's gongs or drums or different triangles and all kinds of tones and instruments and sounds. And it is, it can just really transform you to another frequency, another consciousness, another place in mind and body.
I think that, like, one of the things that is so beautiful about the sound healing is that you feel it in your body, right? When I did the healing with you, which was magic, by the way, I was transported to like this beautiful like future moment that like I feel is coming. It's coming. It was like a shift, but it was just like I felt like my body was singing too. It was pleasure, right? It was like embodied pleasure. Yeah.
And so often we deny that for ourselves, and in our daily life, it's easy to get lost in the sauce of emails, phone calls, news, social media. And for me, it is such a gift to be able to have someone enjoy the sound vibrations and to allow themselves to get into their body and to make that connection with the mind and the body and the breath is just super, super powerful. And I really am so grateful for the opportunity to be able to do that. It's uncommon in our society where we're taking a time out and we're spending 60, 90 minutes away from our phones. So it's really...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we're constantly accountable.
Yes.
Or if it's not an accountability to someone or a job or something, it's sometimes it's an escape that isn't actually filling our cup.
A distraction, absolutely.
A distraction. Yeah. Yeah.
But when we can turn that energy inward to ourselves and give that back to us, get back in touch with our feelings and allow the sound vibrations to just wash over the body, you can experience some really beautiful things. Like you were saying, you had this amazing projection of your manifestation in the future, and people can have those experiences and maybe think about something in the past or have a healing about something they've experienced in the past, or maybe just actually be in the present moment and be in their bodies experiencing it.
I wonder, do you know much, I don't know the answer to this, but do you know much about like how the brain, like the brain waves are shifting with sound healing? Like, do we drop into an alpha brainwave state with some of this, or is it a thing? Like, do you know it? Kind of, if not, I'm just, the thought crossed my mind.
Yeah, that is a great question, and I wish I had more science.
Be curious. Let's be curious about it. I'm interested to know now.
There is a lot more science coming out. I feel like even day to day of and alternative therapies, everything from cryotherapy to cold plunging and sauna use, and all these things that have been deemed woo-woo in the past are now becoming mainstream, which is so exciting.
We're understanding them at a level that, makes sense in the context we're familiar with already.
Yes, exactly. But I'm excited to see more research come out about that.
Do you remember your first experience with sound healing?
I was at it was this random place that my girlfriends and I went to in Sedona, Arizona. And we were there for a birthday trip for me. And I decided that I wanted to do that as part of the birthday celebration. And what better place in such an attuned, magical spot of vortex energy. And so we went, and it was just a beautiful experience. And we had card pools, and she had all different instruments. It was a family affair. So her husband, the sound healer's husband, and her son was there, and her son was doing some instruments. He was maybe 9 or 10. He had such a beautiful energy about him, and was so calming, and had his youthful, playful energy too. And so it was really neat to see hear and experience all the different sounds and types of sounds. And since then, I would say the most impactful sound healing that I went to, the most dramatic, I would say in my mind, was at Sage Healing Center in Woodstock, New York, where I did my training. And they had it's like a huge yoga studio type room, and I would say half the room was taken up with instruments. I'm talking enormous gongs.
Really?
They had these huge, I forget some of the names of them, but different types of string instruments, and different drums, and singing bowls, like where you could literally probably sit inside of them. They were that big. And they did a 90-minute sound healing for us, and it was mind-blowing. And normally I'm the person doing a little snort because I'm falling asleep. Usually I'm so relaxed.
Yes.
Which can happen. It's a side effect of sound healing. I totally get it. And I was conscious and awake for every single second of this one, which just felt like such a different experience of sound. It was amazing.
Did you have, so for you, what's happening internally? Are you seeing things? Are you like smelling, like, are you just like feeling it in your, like, what is it like for you? I imagine it's different from person to person. I'm curious.
Usually I'm in kind of like a dream state. Like when we're talking about the brain waves, like I'm not really conscious. It's like a different space and time, just like kind of elevated. And I would say sometimes I see colors, sometimes I see some like scenarios playing out. Yeah. Sometimes I feel like I'm jumping timelines, maybe seeing something from a past life. And sometimes completely random stuff will come up in my head. Maybe something that's unhealed or some, type of trauma or a situation, an uncomfortable situation. And I feel like that's almost like our body's somatic way of processing, right? It's like it's stuck in your body, so you need to bring it consciously. And through sound healing, I feel like you can find that release from those pieces too that come up.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
And so there are like infinite instruments that you can incorporate in sound healing. What do you like to do?
Yes,
what do you like to use?
Huge fan of crystal singing bowls, which you experienced. Yes.
So was there a microphone in like?
No.
That is incredible. Yeah. It was just like, it just came right through me. It was amazing.
Yeah. Did you find the lower tones or the higher tones were more?
I think it was all of it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it was all acoustic.
All story. Yeah.
But the vibrations that really just send it through people, and you can just feel it in your body. It's interesting to watch. There's a couple things going around on social media when somebody will play a crystal singing bowl next to a bowl of water. Yeah. And you can actually see the water vibrate and move.
We are water.
Right. And you think about our bodies. And so we're vibrating and moving with that sound too in response.
Absolutely.
So it was all acoustic and so crystal singing bowls. I also have a rain stick, which I really love.
Love that sound.
To put that on with a thunderstorm, like fiery, next to the fire, night track.
Yeah.
Also have different chimes and bells and a lot of those are really fun to play with. Even in my regular yoga class, I like to bring those in to just adding a little extra element.
That's awesome. Yeah. So I'm curious, when you're in a sound healing, like holding that space for people, sharing that experience with people, like in preparing, do you like to kind of think ahead what you're going to do? Like, is it sort of like almost like you're writing a story or writing a song, or is it totally spontaneous in the moment what you're called to do?
That's a great question. And that's kind of evolved as I've developed my craft.
Yeah.
It has, so by trade, I am an events manager in marketing. So I'm very...
You like a plan.
Programmed. Yeah. Like a plan for the plan.
Absolutely.
And it was very structured. And when I went into my first couple sound healings that I led, it was like I felt very structured in that way. If I'm going to do the rain stick for 10 minutes and walk around, and then I'm going to do bowls for 30 minutes, and then I'm going to do this. And I found that went out the window because it really was about the feeling, and it's being intuitive and empathic. I can kind of pick up what people in the room need and how they're going to be responding to it. So that's been a lot of fun to play with that. But really the core of it would be the singing bowls would be the main part of it. And then it's kind of adding in just the different flavors, maybe before and after the bowls, or how, feeling into it to see how it goes.
I love that.
Yeah.
Are there instruments that you'd like to learn to be able to add to your repertoire?
Oh, absolutely. Oh my gosh. Going to the training, Sage Training Center in New York, it was mind blowing the amount of instruments that they had, and it was incredible. I'm forgetting the names of some of them, but a lot of the different chimes and gongs are there, and yes, would love to invest in some of those.
It's like infinite growth potential.
Yeah, right? Like, and infinite storage.
That's fair. That's maybe the limiting factor.
Yes.
That's funny. It's funny. I'm curious, right? You talked about as a kid being really drawn to crystals. I mean, like many curiosities, but I've often wondered about that, right? Because we all have our own vibration, our own kind of frequency, right? But I think like we often talk about crystals specifically with regard to their vibration, their frequency. Like, Do you ever incorporate, I mean, and the singing bowls themselves are crystal, right?
Yes.
Do you feel like there's overlap there in your mind, like the curiosity? Like, I'm trying to kind of figure out where those come together for you.
Yeah, I definitely think there is a connection there. I hadn't made that, how that flows together, but now that makes a lot of sense that you're saying it out loud. It's, I think there is that the crystals do hold that frequency and that like special little magic. I love to use crystals in my day-to-day life.
What does that look like for you?
I usually, I'll usually pull a crystal in the morning or just kind of look at my rock collection now as an adult, my rock and crystal collection, and find something that resonates with me. Or for example, if I'm needing to use my voice, maybe I'll select a blue crystal or a sodalite or something that's going to support me in that, like coming here.
Absolutely.
In opening the throat chakra. And I also use them when I am doing Reiki on somebody else and putting them on different chakras and or grounding, using some grounding crystals in the hands or on the forehead and using them that way.
Yeah. Oh, that's super cool.
Yeah.
And so, pulling in, your other passion, your other modality, yoga, it sounds like there's something in the works where we're bringing them together, your sound healing and yoga. How do you see that looking and evolving? And
I feel like the two really go hand in hand together. And what I was saying earlier about the references about being woo-woo, I feel like by bringing the yoga and the movement and sound healing together, it can become more approachable to people who may not want to participate in those types of activities.
Well, it was great. We were able to come to you at a Pilates studio, right? So there was a lovely kind of, that's a comfortable place for some folks, whereas sound healing might be new. We were able to bring them together in that way.
Absolutely, yeah. So I've been doing workshops, flow and sound workshops, bringing yoga and sound healing together as one afternoon. And those have been really successful. And I feel like the movement part almost helps get out that any anxiety or any, at least for me in my body and my practice, I feel like physical movement can just help kind of get rid of some of those jitters, some of that anxious energy, and then to be able to lie down and experience the sound bowls is really next level. So that's been a lot of fun, and I really want to expand those offerings and what that looks like. I've done a couple different series with the yoga and sound healing. For example, we did a journey through the 4 elements, earth, air, wind, and fire. Oh my gosh,
what was that like? That's right up my alley.
So there was different yoga poses to support the chakra that aligned with each of the elements. And then I brought in different sounds. For example, for the water one, I did koshi chimes that were in a water element tone. So that was a lot of fun. And then I've done an extended one, a chakra one that went up through all the chakras doing sound. And
how are you learning, right, for people who are curious to learn more? What are your kind of your go-to spots for learning how to pull these pieces together, right? A lot of work went into finding the right instruments to go, right?
I think attending sound healings myself and going to them and just kind of experiencing what's going on in the worlds of movement and sound. Social media is also very helpful to get exposed to different things that people are doing. For example, there's a new platform right now where people are doing the sound healings, the floating sound healings. So they have twin air mattresses that they're launching into pools and then doing the sound healing around the pools.
So in the water, that is also very much receiving the vibration.
Absolutely.
And then, oh my goodness.
Yes.
What a cool sensory experience.
Yeah. And some of it just is downloaded and comes to me like the chakra workshop series. Not that I'm the first person to ever think of that, but it was like, how do I bring that into the world? How do I ground that and create that?
When do you feel like you're most receptive to that guidance?
Out in nature, I would say. Yeah. It's when I'm not actively thinking about it.
Right.
Yeah. When I'm moving, maybe at yoga, when I just have some space, I'm not distracted. I'm not distracted, but I'm not uber focused either. It's in that middle space there.
Yeah. Absolutely. And so, I think it sounds like you were sort of nudged into this space where, a couple of jobs it wasn't the right fit. We were clearly being called to another path. For other folks who are in that situation, perhaps like you feel like, what's going on? What would you say to them? What's your advice for someone who's, maybe starting to feel like we're out of alignment?
I think that's the key, right? Of like gauging where you are with yourself and in that alignment. I knew for many years that the corporate route wasn't for me, but that's all I knew. And that was, it's safety, it's stability, it's benefits. And, I had all these corporate perks. But at the end of the day, I was miserable and I was crying to my husband, at least 2 or 3 times a week. Like, I'm trapped, like I can't get out. And so I think that the layoff was a blessing from the universe, but then there's all these little signs that are happening since then that I've been calling breadcrumbs. I just wrote about this on my blog.
I call them cosmic breadcrumbs.
Yes, I love that. Yes, we're completely aligned.
Yeah, we are.
And it's like those breadcrumbs are dropping in to be a reminder of, yes, this is the right path. Yes, this is the right thing. Yes, this is right. And literal yeses of I'm putting myself out there, being like, instead of a why attitude, I'm saying why not, putting myself out there, emailing, calling, networking, and
all
saying
of those are risks.
Yeah, right? Absolutely. And so by getting those breadcrumbs, it's just a little bit more of a reinforcement that that I am getting into alignment. I am following an aligned path. But I would say for someone who is struggling with, maybe feeling trapped or being in a corporate, job, that to really tap into passions. I mean, teaching yoga has been my passion, my fun job for about 10 years now.
Yeah.
And so, and stepping into that and now introducing myself as a sound healer, a movement coach, a yoga teacher, like it's scary to say that because I've been those things, but it's identifying with it and embodying it that really is the scary part.
The letting go of the title that got the like, oh, that's, they're like, oh, you're a boss bitch or whatever it is, right? And it's like, no, I'm still that, but now I'm passionate about it.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's courage.
Yeah. And sometimes it's just, it takes a lot of courage to look inside and admit to yourself that it's not working. That's hard. It's hard. And for years, I didn't want to admit that there was another way. Like I just thought that there was this one way and I needed to do this thing. So, I think touching in with yourself and identifying what
allowed you to do that? Because I do think that's a barrier for so many of us, right? That ability to look inward.
Yeah. I have to go back to my movement. Yeah. What I know is that moving my body and moving and then getting still. So moving and then in that stillness, finding what would feel more aligned. And it's not about making the big switch, right? It's about following those breadcrumbs and just making one little step. Because when we think about the big step, like it can feel too much, too overwhelming. But if there's just one little thing that we can make a change or tweak or do in that day, or one email we could send that lights up our spark, then do that.
Yeah, it can be gradual. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it can feel, it can be the pace that it has to be aligned.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's the word of the day.
That's the word of the day. Exactly. We have about 1 minute left, but in this time, I'm going to ask you my favorite question to ask everybody. if you could be the best in the world at one thing, what would it be?
Yeah. I would say it would be to be the best listener. As someone who holds space for people, I really value and honor people's ability to share with me. And I want to be able to listen the best that I can in my relationships, in my profession, in just holding space day to day for people. And I'm an Aries sun, so that is very tough for me at times. I'm ready to jump in and be like, let's solve this and do this and do all the things. So I would say listening is a skill that I work on all the time.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Tricia, thank you so much for joining me today. So grateful for your medicine. Powerful experience for me. Please, if someone wanted to find you and experience one of your sound healings themselves, how could they do that?
Yes, you can find me on my website at triciamurrayyoga.com and on Instagram at Tricia Murray Yoga.
Please find her. She's incredible. It will give you a shift.
Thank you.